Yeah, what's up, y'all? My name Rasheen. I'm from Chester, PA. It's like 10, 15 minutes away from Philadelphia. Um, um, I'm 31. I got 4 kids. Um, besides all of that, I'm a true believer in Jesus Christ as my Savior. And growing up uh, in Chester, it was like, normal kid things, like, just at times, I used to get bullied, stuff like that, but I ended up growing out of that. And once I grew out of that, I became one of them high-headed kids. And I just get into a lot of trouble or whatever the case might be. After a while, it started becoming overbearing for my mom. So uh, my mom had other plans, obviously, because when I moved from Chester, I ended up moving to the outskirts of Chester, which is the county, which is like 5 minutes away from Philadelphia. So a lot of kids from Philly was associated with the county. So after that, I made a name for myself out there. I always been like one of them lit kids. Like everybody just loved me. If you hated me, it was something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So I was always like a vibe. And after a while, moving all through the county, my mom ended up moving us to Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, when I was 14. And when I went out there to Kentucky, I was out there probably like the first year, I could say, like the first year me being out there. Instantly I meant to she moved me from out there, from out this, from PA, for a better life out of Kentucky. But knowing me, I'm right back into the mix. So after that, I started going to I had got kicked out of public school and elementary school. So in 5th grade, I got kicked out of public schools. So ever since then, I was always into alternative schools. That didn't make it no better. So when I left from PA to Kentucky, they transferred my alternative school situation to Kentucky. So now I'm out here in the alternative school. So 9 times out of 10, I'm really meeting people that's really on my on my level, like other kids, other dudes that's really on my level or whatever the case might be. After that, I ended up meeting my first baby mom at 15. At this time, I had to be like about 15, and I had my daughter, my oldest daughter. She's 14 now. Her mom, my daughter mom, her parents, she ain't had no dad. Her mom was a crackhead. So my mom ended up taking her in. So I was 15 with a whole female living with me. Like I said, again, mind you, I was out of control. So my mom tried to get me tanked, and she ended up telling my probation officer like I was out of control. So they put me on house arrest. So when they put me on house arrest, I ended up, after that, now I'm in a jail system, basically where I'm going at. I was out of control. I ended up in the jail system. I went to camp. My first time went to camp. I was like 16. Went to camp. Got out of there. I did 12 months in there. Came home from that. When I came home from that, I met certain group of friends. And when I met them group of friends, they was older than me. I used to always hang around older people. They took a liking to me. And a little bit after that, I had a strict probation officer, and that probation officer, a juvenile probation officer, she used to be on me and one of my friends top, because we both had the same probation officer. So she used to be like it was just something about me and him. So we got so fed up with her being so strict on us to a point where we was like, man, we about to go on a run till we 18, because we 17 at this time. So we like, man, we about to go ahead and just go on a run and just kill this juvenile out, so we ain't got to worry about this. So the older crowd that I'm around, it was 6 of them, and they ended up having an altercation where they split up, and it was one of them went his way, and then it was 3 over here, and then the 2 over here. But these 2, that's the ones that I ended up clicking with a little bit more. God bless their soul, God rest their soul, because they deceased now. I ended up living with them while I was on the run, and it was just I guess it was too much for them, and it was too much going on just in the city. To where my dad, like, yo, son, just come back home. You know what I'm saying? Come back to Chester. I got you. I'm going to hold you down. I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. So I'm like, all right. So I ended up going back home until basically I aged out, meaning being grown and I ain't on the run no more. So I went down there with my dad. So my dad, at the time, like back then, I thought that my dad was Muslim, but because he used to wear a kufi, but he tell me now today that he was only wearing it because it was a style. So he said, but he Christian though, you know what I'm saying? And he used to, this my, like, really the only influence that I had, with talking about Jesus around me, or having that effect on me. But me being young, not hearing it, I'm a young boy, I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm running the streets, I'm doing me, this, that, and the third, right? So one of my cousins that I ended up running into, I ended up hanging with this dude. He come to find out he's my cousin because I ended up being around his mom, and his mom like, who your dad? And I tell her who my dad is. She like, oh yeah, we cousins. So me and my cousin ended up getting a little bit closer. Well, a lot closer. Due to the fact we got closer, we been around each other every day. He actually was Muslim. So every day that we'd leave the crib from my dad's house, and when I'm at my dad's house and we leaving my dad's crib, my dad would put blessing oil on our head. So one time, to speed the process of the story up, one time I was hanging with a person that I wasn't supposed to be hanging with in my city. He did hella stuff to people or whatever, and people wanted him dead, I just so happened to hang around him, but people telling me don't hang around him, I'm still hanging around him. So one day we ended up going to a bar or whatever, and when we go into the bar, dudes ended up shooting at us. They ended up hitting one of my mans. He got shot in his leg, and the one that they wanted dead, he ended up getting grazed. And where I was standing at, I had a fitted on. I had a Yankee fitted on. I remember like it was yesterday. I had a Yankee fitted on. The bullet literally took my head off by this much. By this much. It missed my head. It took my head off, and I ducked. I goes to the hospital or whatever. We all ended up going to the hospital, and I called my dad. I say, Dad, I'm like, yo, I need you to come up here and come and get me from the hospital because these kids, some girls was fighting, and I didn't want to tell him the truth. So I was like, yo, some girls was fighting. Somebody was getting jumped. They smashed the car window out, and the glass got in my mouth. I think I swallowed some glass, so that's why I'm in the hospital. But we ended up getting there. Eventually, I ended up telling him like what was going on. Probably like a day, 2 days after that. Like 2 days. No, matter of fact, that night, my cousin get mad because the people who the side of the city that did it, he already didn't like them. So this where it made him gravitate to my cousin, the one who everybody wanted dead. They gravitated to each other. I ended up just so happened to get sick for like 2 weeks. I was sick real bad for like 2 weeks. So I was put up in the crib. They ended up doing them. I don't know what they doing for this whole 2 weeks that they hanging together. All because this one situation happened and I was there. My other cousin ended up hanging with him a lot. No telling what they getting themselves into. Turn around. He got mad at me for some reason. I forgot what it was, but he ended up getting mad at me. That was another reason I ain't talked to him for like 2 weeks. So he pops up at my crib one day while I'm sick. He popped up in my crib one day. And he knock on the door. So he knock at the door. I'm like, I ain't hear him. Instantly I ain't hear him. I ended up hearing like at the last where the door is shut and he walking off. But I ends up coming to the door and I catch him like kind of walking down the street. I'm like, yo, what's up, cuz? Man, I miss you, cuz, man, what's up? Like, man, I miss you too, man. He like, man, come on, look. I got everything on Smash is doing, this little 2 weeks that went by, man, like it been lit for me. I'm touching some money, this, that, and the third. His sister moved on the side of the city where people don't like him at. He thinking, man, I got dude in them heart of my palm, you feel me? I ain't worrying about them, like they scared of me, they scared to death of me. So I'm like, man, all right. I ended up going over, he's like, man, come stay the night with me. I goes over there, chill with him for that night. I wake up that morning, he going. I'm like, oh, where's cuz at, you know? So I goes outside, goes out front looking for him. I don't see him, so I go back in the house. He coming back in the house. He like, yeah, man, I just went to the store real quick. So he goes back outside, I go back outside after him. He's sitting directly on the corner, and that whole squad, that whole gang on the east side, they outside. They really don't like dude, so they really playing him close, making him feel comfortable. They willing him in. So while they doing that, I was like, yo, I'm cool. I'm not about to sit out this joint. That's over. I'm going back in the crib. So I go back in the crib. He come back in me, take a shower. So I see exactly what he had on before he leave. He leave again. He's I'm about to go to the store. He leave again. Like 20 minutes later, the door get kicked down. Boom. When the door get kicked down, they're like, yo, T just got shot. T just got shot. I'm like, huh? Get up. Run right around there. He like, where you? I'm like, where you at? He at the park. I run around there. Man, as soon as I bust through the cut, my cousin sitting there, bro, stiff as a doorknob. Bro, holes in him. This big, bro. Right? So I ends up calling my cousin, the one that he hanging around, my other cousin, the one that he was hanging around that people wanted him dead. So I called him, I'm like, yo, T just got shot. So he like, huh? He like, but he's smirking though, like on some grimy, like a grimy type of smirk, like, huh? He like, man, my young boy got shot. He like, my young boy got shot. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, where you at? He like, I'm in Delaware. When I look up, he ran past the scene. So automatically, I'm kind of like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to put everything together. Long story short, I get in the car. He picked me up, and I get in the car with him. And my cousin ends up calling me. My cousin say, hey, yo, cuz, they saying a dude, and a light-skinned dude and all black shot was the one that shot T. So I'm in the back seat. I move my feet. Like, I just so happened to move my feet, like fidgeting in the back seat. And I hit a black bag with black clothes in there. So I look up. When he said, my cousin telling me, I look up, and I'm in the back of him. I'm like, yo, he killed my cousin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, mind you, whatever was going on, whatever transpired, I know that they was trying to get me out the way too. But God just so happened to put me, like God's timing is perfect timing. He know where to put me at a certain time. While this is going on, my older friends that I left from Kentucky, I didn't even know the same day that my cousin got killed. The same day that my cousin got killed, one of them got killed. I told you it was two of them. One of them got killed the same day, and the day before, the other one got paralyzed. So I don't know all this is going on, meaning that if I was there with them, I would have been in that situation. If I would have stayed there with my cousin, that would have happened. But God had other plans for me, right? I'm gonna speed this process up. So that's just a little like background of the like things that I had to deal with, put up with, and losing them close friends, them close people. You feel what I'm saying? Like that meant a lot to me. Like that meant a lot to me. I never been a drinker. Like I never was like a real drinker. Like I used to pop pills and stuff like that. Never was a drinker. When I ended up, my dad, the one who ended up, I'm sorry, y'all, the one that ended up shooting, that I was in the backseat with, he ended up getting shot later on that night, and they thought that it was me. So now people looking for me now because they saying that I shot dude. So my dad like, yo, I ain't about to have your blood on my hands, so you about to go back to Kentucky. So I go back to Kentucky, and that's when I find out my other friends is getting done up too. I ended up meeting my son mom. And when I met her, it was like a toxic situation. Like I ain't never been in no relationship. That's the longest relationship that I was in. Not only longest, but it was so toxic. Like stabbings. She stabbed me before. I'm talking about domestic violence is crazy. When I say we fighting family, fighting each other family, we fighting people together, shootouts together, all type of stuff. It was like Bonnie and Clyde situation. Like, it was just crazy toxic. So speeding it up, it was so toxic where that was like the darkness of my life. Like, not only that, but I did 3 years behind her. I did 3 years because she lied and said that I shot her. I mean, I shot at her and my kids. So I ended up doing 3 years for that. So that little bit that I did that 3 years, Jesus kind of came to me a little bit, but not all the way like he is now, and like he did the last time. My ultimate encounter. So when I came home, it got back toxic with Shorty. I got back together with her. We ended up getting married. It got, toxic still. Like, that was going to change anything. It got toxic still. So after that, moving forward, I started drinking. That's what I started doing. I became a drinker. That's when I became a drinker. So now that I'm drinking, it's times where I'm feeling suicidal. I'm feeling like I'm not nothing. It's times where, like, and it's toxic to where she like one of the females where she down you. She make you feel less than. You feel me? So it's like, whew, that was like, man, that was the darkest. Like, I never want to feel that again ever, and I know that I'm never gonna feel it again because that was like the void that was in me, the darkness that was in me that needed to be filled. You know what I'm saying? And ever since, so after that situation, I ended up leaving her. She used to get into, she was like a bad alcoholic. So every time she get drunk, she'd bang a car out, get into a car accident. This was the last time she did it. My mom just so happened to be coming in town. So I said, yo, I'm leaving. I gotta go. Like, I had to find the courage and the strength to really get out of this situation. So when I got out of this, my mom came down there. I had like $200 to my name. She got into another car accident. I said, yo, it's over. I had to deal with her family, getting through it. I said, I'm tired of this. I'm done. I'm mentally drained. I'm just done. It's over. So I ended up leaving with my mom. Now I ends back up in PA again. Now when I'm in Philly, I'm back out here. I moved with my dad. Moved back with my dad. No, I moved with my brother. I'm sorry. I moved with my brother, my oldest brother, and we chilling. Vibing. I rap. I do the music. And I was nice. So one of my cousins took me under his wing because he had a little label or whatever the case might be, and he was kind of like hyping me up and stuff like that, getting me in the studio. And I just felt at peace because, I wasn't with my baby mom no more. So I just felt at peace. I was good. Just when I thought everything was good. I ended up getting locked up for a crime that I didn't commit. My dad's girlfriend lied and said that I shot her because their little domestic that they had going on. But I'm gonna kind of get into that, a little bit more detail. When I came back to Philly, I was there for 2 months, and during that 2 months, I had met another one of my, at the time this girl became my girlfriend. She shot at me on Instagram, and it was just something about Shorty. We clicked, and when we clicked, it was just on. It was on after that. I seen her like two times in that 2 months, and then on Valentine's Day I got locked up. So when they locked me up, I'm leaving her house actually, and I'm on the highway, and me and a couple of my friends, we get pulled over. So when we get pulled over, it was because of argument or whatever. The cops got called, and it was like when the cops pulled up, the state troopers pulled up, they like, hey, let me see your ID, And once we give him the ID, he came back and gave both of them their ID back, but he didn't give me mine back. So I'm like, what's to it? He say, you got a warrant. So I'm like, I got a warrant? What are you talking about? I got a warrant. I only been down here 2 months. I ain't getting to no job. And this one I'm thinking to myself, like, how could I have a warrant? Mind you, prior to this, it all popped in my, it's not really registering, but it's kind of popping up in my head a little bit because my dad just called me and told me, he was like, hey, such and such got shot. And I'm like, yeah, she cool, she good. I'm really like genuinely, care about what happened. I'm like, is she good? She all right? He like, yeah, she all right. But he acting weird though. He acting kind of weird on the phone. Like his whole energy and his vibe. And I'm so good with energy, it's ridiculous. Like I'm so good. Like I can read you through a book. I can read you through a computer. Like I know what's going on. I'm hit. So when he said he get kind of quiet. So I'm like, what? I'm like, what's up, Dad? Like, what's going on? And he said, man, I was in the hospital. I went to go see her at the hospital, and she said that we got into an argument, and she said that basically she was going to tell the cops that one of my kids did this to her. And I was like, he was like, but nah, you ain't got to worry about it, though. He tried, like, kind of, try to dumber it down, like, brush me off with it, like, but nah, you ain't got nothing to worry about it. 9 times out of 10, she probably even said my name, but my dad got 6 kids. I got, my mom got 6 siblings. On my dad's side, I got seven siblings, So out of all the kids, I never even got into an argument with, altercation with this lady. I never called this lady at her name. Why would she say, I did it? I'm confused here. What is going here? What is going on here? So he ends up not telling me, he just like kind of brushed it off like, but you good though, you ain't got nothing to worry about, just go about your day, son. And that's what I did. Fast forwarding it back up to when I get pulled, now they telling me I got a warrant. It's hitting me like, man, did this lady, but I ain't thinking about that. So I get in the back of the cop car, I ask him like, yo, what I got a warrant for? He say, criminal attempt. I said, criminal attempt? That sounds like a serious charge. I'm confused. So they get me down to the holding over cell. And the holdover cell over in Chester is so little. Like you can hear a person come knock at the door trying, come to bail you out. So I hear my sister and them come over the intercom like, hey, we here for Rasheen, this, that, and the third. And they like, yeah, man, the sergeant like, hey, yo, y'all got the wrong person, bro. Like, y'all got the wrong person. He tweaking. He like, y'all got the wrong person. So he's like, y'all gotta let him go. So when he said they gotta let him go, I'm like, yeah, y'all gotta let me go. Get me up out of here. Get me up through, right? He said that y'all got the wrong person because on the paper it say this person is 5'11". He's nowhere near 5'11". So I say, yeah, I'm nowhere near 5'11". I'm nowhere near that. So I'm Gucci. So he's like, but before I let you go, let me go ahead and check on this joint before I do let you go. I said, all right, bet. He come back like, man, we got the right person. I said, man, y'all can't have the right person, bro. It's not me. It's not me. I'm not 5'11". It's not me. So, boom. I ended up going to court the next day. So when I went to court, the judge read them charges up to me, man. She said, criminal attempt to homicide, criminal attempt to murder, possession of a firearm. There was a couple more charges. Man, I'm in a seat like this. I'm melting in the seat like, no. I'm crying. I'm booing. I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm crying. I'm in tears. It's one thing when you really do something. You feel me? Like, you got to own up to that. You know what I'm saying? You got to take that. You got to take what come with it. And in my case, if that was the case and I really did it, I wouldn't have been tripping. It would have been what it is. Like, I did it. It is what it is. You feel me? I'm going to own up to it. I'm going to take it on the chin. In this case, I didn't do it, so of course I'm terrified. Any man would be. Any human being would be, So they ended up basically processing me now. Now I'm processed in the jail. They take me to the county. So when I get to the county, I call my brother and my sister. They answer. They like, man, at this time, the feeling, the anxiety that I was having, the wariness, literally the fear, I can't even explain, like the loneliness of feeling helpless. I felt helpless because I knew It wasn't nobody that could save me out of this. If the judge can't get their act together, or a DA or a lawyer can't come to the conclusion like, oh yeah, this person really didn't commit this crime, y'all gotta let him ride. Oh yeah, if they can't, now who can help you? If they can't help you, this is their world. So if they can't help you in this world, then what make you think that anybody else can help you? What was the case? Was the case. Nobody could help me. So God set this whole situation up for me to catch my attention, which he did. Before I knew Jesus, I done seeked other religions, Islam, 5% of God body, gangs, but I never felt that void that I had in me never was filled. I was so burnt out, like meaning like as a person, like I was just so burnt out, and I know it was the world that was turning me into this person. You know what I'm saying? It was literally the world. I'm not one of them dudes that's gonna be like, man, this is because how I was raised up, or the people. No, I'm not doing that. I'm where I'm at right now on my journey, that I understand the spiritual world so much that I understand that now it wasn't because of nobody, but it was because I am a sinner, and I didn't know who Jesus was, and not only that, I had to deal with this world, and that's a lie. That'll take you on one if you don't have that void filled with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And which it did. So I was burnt out at the time. I ain't have no rec. Doing stuff to people you disrespect. I'm on your top. I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm really one of them. So, you know, going back to, you know, now I'll call my brother and my sister. They answer the phone. They say, dang, bro, you heard the relief in that voice. Like, dang, bro, I'm glad you good or whatever. You know, I'm happy to talk to you. My brother say, hey, yo, bro, green eggs and ham looking for you. I'm like, who green eggs and ham? It's the girl that I met. That, you know, 2 months before, you know, for that 2 months that I knew, that I was talking to, the last girl I was talking to. I only knew her 2 months, so I didn't think that she was going to ride the whole bit, or even be interested in dealing with somebody that's locked up, you know. But she understood the process. But not only did she understand the process, but God really picked her. Like, he picked her. And I know that he picked her because it was a lot of God. A lot of God in her. Meaning that when it came down to it, us even having conversations on jail calls, she was teaching me about the gospel. She only knew so much, so she can only really speak on what she knew. So after that, she get in the car with me, you know, meaning that she started holding me down, started riding with me, supporting me. She gave money up for my lawyer. She put money on my books. I didn't miss a meal. I went in there $1.20. I went in there $1.20, probably like 60 days in my bed. I was already like at $1.70. That's healthy. That's good. I'm looking good. I'm back. I got that glow on me. You know what I'm saying? So she mattered a lot, and she was so much of a factor in this testimony, is because I think this was where it started at, like with the signs. Like I'm very good with like, you know, listen. Like it's like I really hear God. So now that when I'm talking to her on the phone, and she like kind of like teaching me like the basics, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she trying to teach me what she know. Like she know for her, like for her where she at in her faith, like she know just enough that it keep her going. Like, and you know, I was blessed for that. She used to tell me little, you know, stories, or trying to, you know, teach me about Jesus. And I remember talking to my dad, and my dad said, oh yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was trying to say. My discernment is very top tier. Like my discernment, top tier. Like when God say, I hear him. From the when I feel, I can feel. Like it's my discernment top tier. I talked to my dad. My dad said, hey, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm sorry you going through this. My bad, son. Like, you know, he said, but but God got you. You know, I'm gonna get you out of the situation. And God got you. Jesus got you. He said, man, why don't you just like? He's like, why you in there, man? You need to just go ahead and get back in the Bible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get back in the Bible, or whatever. So I'm like, you're right. Because at this point, something told me, and something told me which was God, and I know it was God. Like I said, that's my discernment so crazy. Because I knew, yeah, he using these people, but I know exactly what's the spirit is literally speaking through each and one of these people who talking to me. You know what I'm saying? So I get off the phone and I turn around. As soon as I turn around, it's a pocket Bible sitting on the table. And just like this light is flashing, that's how I was flashing on that Bible, I promise you. That's all I seen. Literally, like as if God just put it right there for me. I went to go pick the Bible up. When I picked the Bible up, I tried to read it. I sat down, I tried to read it, didn't understand it. So I turned around to this guy named Bob, this white guy named Bob. I said, hey Bob, excuse me. I was like, excuse me. You know what this means? Can you tell me what this means? He said, I won. I can't. He said, I don't know what. He said, like, I don't know how to explain. I wouldn't know how to explain it to you. He said, but I can put you in the right direction. And when he said that, my life changed. That's how my life changed right here. He turned around. He said, you can go ask him right there. And his name is Johnny. I walked up on John. I call him Johnny. It's my best friend till this day. This happened in 2019. It's 2024. It's still my best friend. It's my mentor. It's my brother. Like, it's just like it's just so beautiful how this all just transpired and how God used him in my life. Like, I'm so blessed for him. So I goes to Johnny. I say, excuse me. You know what this means? Ask him the same thing. He smiled. He gave me this smile. He smiled at me. He said, of course I do. And I sat down, and it's like, at that moment, God literally took the whole revelation. God took the whole revelation and put it on my heart. It was overwhelming. I'm not gonna cap. It was a lot. You feel me? It was a lot, bro. It was a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I was scared, and at that moment I feared God. People say you can walk up to a person and say, "Hey, do you love God?" And they say, "Yeah, I love God." But why you love God though? Like, really? Like, let's be honest. You love God because what he do? He provide for you because he provide just because he provide for you. That's it. No, it's more to this. It's deeper than this. It means so much more than this, that he really died for your sins. He really loved you way before you even knew who he was. And he loved me way before I even knew who he was. And I'm not nothing. I'm nothing. I don't deserve it, and none of us do. The fact that I can't even acknowledge that Jesus really loved me. God gotta really open up your heart. He gotta circumcise your heart. He gotta give you the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And the fact I can do that, I'm blessed. He gave me that grace. He had that grace on me. He had that mercy on me. And I'm just so blessed for that. And I felt all these emotions and all these feelings at this moment. All of this, it's literally like, I learned the Bible within 3 months from front to back. When I built my whole foundation. God literally gave me my whole foundation within 3 months, from front to back. I can literally go out here from that 3 months. If I ended up in the streets from after that 3 months, I could have preached the gospel. Not word for word, not verse for verse, but just notice that he put that verse for verse on my heart. I knew what was going on. Everything flashed before my eyes. Everything, my whole life flashed before my eyes. And like I always say, it was like a loss, like a bitter baby mom keeping this kid away from his father. And that bitter baby mom is the enemy, which is the devil. And your father is Jesus, is God. And that's what the enemy was doing to me this whole time, man. And once God got his, once God got snatched me up and got my attention and told me, hey, listen, I loved you the whole time. I was here with you. I never left you. I protected you. You the reason. I'm the reason why a lot of things was even possible. And when I realized that, I said, yo, the enemy didn't do nothing. The enemy was nothing but a better baby mom. He kept me away from God. Simple. And now that I'm woke he literally snatched me from out of the darkness to the light. At that moment, my whole life changed. Literally. I'm not saying that my life changed with how I am, because I'm still a sinner and I'm not perfect. I'm not saying how I move, but God didn't. It's some people was, it just, some people's journey is different. Like God might just give you, the whole spirit thing of you just automatically just living righteous or trying to live righteous. I mean, where nobody righteous, but moving like a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was literally like you gotta crawl before you walk thing. So I crawled before I walked, and now I'm walking. And I'm not saying that I don't fall, but when I do fall, he there to pick me up as a father. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my journey been going. When he laid the revelation on my heart right there, the enemy hated instantly. The enemy didn't like this. So, mind you, I told you that I couldn't sleep on my own for a whole 2.5 years. Think about how miserable that is. Not being able to go to sleep on your own. So what I used to do is I used to take, people sleeping meds to go to sleep. So there's one night, I did it like a couple times, did it like 3 times where I overtook the medication.
This happened in jail?
This happened in jail. Yeah. So yeah, I'm back to where he laid everything on me and instantly everything changed. So it was hard for me to go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep on my own. So I used to take people medication. So when I'm taking people medication, I'm cool. I'm straight. I can go to sleep. That's the only way that I can sleep though. That's literally the only way I can sleep. I can't go to sleep on my own. Long story short, one night, this one Pacific night, this after I'm in the Bible every day, like, and when I'm reading the Bible now, I'm understanding. Mind you, I told you, me reading the Bible, anytime that I tried to read the Bible, I didn't understand it. But now I got the eyes to see, and my heart is circumcised. I can really feel, I can see what's going on in this word for word, the most beautiful story that could ever be created. How could it be fabricated? How could it be fake? I'm reading this Bible, I can go to sleep, and I literally feel like I'm having visions of literally the things that happened back in them days. It was so intense, man. Like for real, it was so intense. So this one night, I take one of the meds, and when I take one of the meds, I forgot that I took one because I had just ate. Because what it do, it make you hungry. So when I take it, it make me hungry. I go to sleep. So I'm thinking I didn't take one, so I take another one. Oh man, why I do that? Because I told you I did it on other occasions. So when I do it, it's instantly like a feeling like when you take too much, it's instantly like you done messed up. Like man, like one of them, like you feel like you about to overdose. So I'm in there and I'm like, hey, I'm going through it. I'm like, why did I just take another one? I'm really stressing about it. Like, man, I don't feel like going through this. Feeling like I'm about to die here. like I can't go through it. So it hit me. I'm lit. My eyes bloodshot red. I'm looking in the mirror and like this little metal thing that we got. I'm looking at my eyes. And while I'm looking at my eyes is literally trying to close on me. While I'm trying to hold them open like, no, go to sleep, because if you go to sleep, you're not going to wake up. So I'm scared to death. Man, at this moment, I say, you know what? I gotta have faith. Like this was like a test. Like this is a little test where I had faith. Like, I'm a trust in God. Like I trust in you, Jesus. I really do. I just gave up. Like I just let go. I just let go and let God. Like God, if I don't make it, like God, you got me. I know you got me. I know you got me. So I ended up closing my eyes instantly. When I closed my eyes, it was just dark. Like it wasn't no blare, no effect. Like when you close your eye from the beam off the light, yeah, you just be seeing the little specks little sparks. It's none of that. It's just pure dark, like black. And probably like not even 30 seconds, a face pop up. And the face is like a face just came out of the middle of the darkness, but then it turned like gray. To where it's like you put a bag, if you used the basically the form of a face, and you could see it through a bag. And that's what it was. It was like grayish, like a grayish though. And it was a deep voice, and it said, "You belong to me." And I said, "No, I don't. I belong to Jesus." And he said it again. He said, "You belong to me." I said, "No, I don't. I belong to Jesus." And he said it one more time. He said, "You belong to me." I said, "No, I don't. I belong to Jesus." As soon as I said that last time I said it, it just went away. And it was just like doves flying. And it was just like pure blue sky. It was just so beautiful and peaceful. Man, when I woke up that next morning, I knew I wasn't tripping. Like I knew that was like really the present. I just knew more, even more. It was just like things just start happening, like spiritual things at that. Not just no regular stuff. Like this really spiritual stuff that's happening in front of my eyes, and I'm able to even realize this is going on. It was crazy. So I go to Johnny that next morning. I said, "Johnny, I had a dream. That the devil or the enemy was trying to get me, and he was telling me that I belong to him. And prior to this, I'm reading the Bible every day. I'm talking about God every day. I'm saved at this point, you know." And I know he wasn't feeling that, so I tell Johnny, I said, "Johnny," I said, "he really came to me in my dream. He told me that I belong to him, but I denied him 3 times, and it went away. And Jesus, just like I know it was Jesus' presence. I didn't see Jesus, but I know I felt his presence of peace." And he like kind of shed a little tear behind it. He like, because he see me. He see the fact that, and just like he just said this morning, I called him this morning, and he told me, he said, "Man, I never been so blessed. Like one seed, like just one, like just one seed, like just having to be able to even experience that seed grow from from just sowing it is like out of this world, like out of this world blessing." And he like, "Man, I'm just so glad. I'm just so blessed that, you know, God made you become who you are today, you know." He like, "I pray for you, you know, for your testimony, your prayers, you prayed up, you know, so you just go out there, let the Holy Spirit work, you know." So he said, Johnny, she shed a tear behind that, man. And we talk about this stuff all the time. That's really my best friend. We talk about this all the time. So after them encounterments, mind you, I'm still kind of in the, I know who Jesus is at this point, but it's just like a slowly but surely, he just building me up, building my relationship. We just building, we bonding. And as we bonding, he just doing certain things and letting certain things happen to where he's showing his hand to let me know that I am him. I am. That's God's name. I am. Like I am. And he said, after that situation, after I figured that out, after that situation, after I figured this out and I put this together, I'm sitting back, I'm still kind of stressing about like worldly things, like, you know, and I still had like attachments like to like money. It was like a thing in my head. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to play both sides of the field. Like, I can't play both sides of the field. I can't be over here with you and be over here and try to get myself together, get my money together, or whatever the case might be. I'm like, that's corny. Like that's corny. Like, hey, I'm not ready for that, you know. I took this up to Johnny one day and I said, "Johnny, I feel so bad. I feel so convicted because I'm too attached to money. I think everything revolves around money for me." And we prayed about it, right? The next day, them chains was broken from me. Them chains was broke. It wasn't no feeling. I didn't care about no money. Literally the next day, God, literally like this how God gonna whisper. That's how he gonna come to you. He gonna come in a whisper. He's not about to come out and show it, because if he showed himself, we wouldn't even be going through this right now. He'd put an end to this and snap of a finger. So he whispered. And every time he whispered, my discernment being so much top tier, and I'm so blessed for that too, that I hear him. And when I see that this right here, this for example, like this conviction of me being so tied to money and thinking that everything revolves around money, this can keep me away from, can literally come in between me and my father. And he took that away from me instantly. And that was a strong like attachment. Like that was like nothing in this world I'm attached to besides, some money, right? Then not only that, this is what he do for me after that. After he showed me that money never amount to what we gonna have going on. My relationship with you, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because what a father do in real life, a father protects. Not only protect, but a father provides. Like I do for my son. My son just came in this world, and I see my son, and he the most precious thing in this world to me. And I see him, and it's like, son, I would do whatever for you, right or wrong. And then I had to look at it in the perspective of this how Jesus look at me. So I don't take my eyes off my son. Every night I'm staring at my son. Every morning I'm staring at my son. And I'm thinking about this. I'm not only thinking about how much I love my son, but I'm thinking about how much Jesus really loved me. Way before I even knew who he was. That's the kicker, yo. That's really the kicker for me. That's really the kicker. That's love. That's what love is. You get what I'm saying? Like Jesus is love. So when he took that, broke them chains from me, man, that was a feeling of relief. Like I felt like a lot of weight was off my shoulder after that. And then he showed me. Now he start coming through. Now at this point. He said, I got you. Like, I got you. That's what it do. A father do, protect, and a father provide. And he did both of these things. He did just that. Because he protect me from these false accusations of me facing 15 to 30 years, of me not being able to see the light of day for a long time. He stopped that, but he let me know that he was in control of this whole situation. It was because of him I was in there, not because of her. So when he took that from me, I knew that it's nothing too much for God to to cure for me, because instantly when I got saved, a lot of my void that I had, a lot of that loneliness, a lot of that depression instantly went away. The money, the tie to the money instantly went away. And then when he started providing for me, he showed me that, don't worry, son, I got you. Even though that I still worry, like a baby do, a baby cry. But you still give it, you still there for the baby though. You get what I'm saying? You still provide for the baby. The baby crying, he want a bottle. He got to drink his milk. You give him his milk. So we're going to cry. We're going to complain. We're going to, get our little complaining on or whatever. We're going, But then I ain't had no way to pay my lawyer. And this is how I got out of my situation. Let me speed it up. I ain't had no way to pay my lawyer. I was broke. I had nothing to my name. My girl complaining because she, she done spent all her money on me, and she spent a lot of money on me, so, my ex-girl. Then, so prior to that, I'm sorry, y'all. Prior to that, I got to tap y'all in with a little story before I get to, where I'm at right now. So, backtrack to one day, when I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, I went to a Walgreens on a late night, going to go get something out of Walgreens, and I had my hoodie on, and when I had my hoodie on, the security guard told me to take my hood off, and I take it off, but it gets like right here, because I got dressed, so it stopped it. So he walk up on me like, yo, didn't I tell you to take your hoodie off? I'm like, bro, what you mean? Like, I took my hoodie off. It's raining outside. I did. You can see me. Man, he just steal me. So we start tussling, got the rumbling. The other security guard grabbed me, took me from under my legs, picked me up. Long story short, I goes home to my baby mom, tell my baby mom. She said, oh, that's a lawsuit. I said, oh, yeah. I'm like, all right, bet. So she's like, you got to go through the whole little process. So I, get the file the charges or whatever case might be. So when I do that, now that's in process. But due to the fact all the toxic stuff that I was going through in Kentucky with my baby mom, I ended up leaving. When I left Kentucky, I left everything there. I didn't care about that money, that lawsuit, none of that. I just left it at where it was. So, long story short, now I'm in jail. My counselor called me, said, yeah, come to the office. So I get to the office. How you doing, Rasheen? How you doing? Hey, so we on the, I don't even know these lawyer terms, what they even talking about. I just hear starting out the Walgreens and they like, we got 500. My lawyer say, man, we want 80,000. I didn't hear nothing. I promise you, I didn't hear nothing. It was like just blubber until they got to the middle of 28,000. And it was like, yeah, 28,000. When I heard 28,000, I'm like, 28,000? Yeah, Rasheen, so look, I'm about to fax this over. You just sign this, sign that. Your check gonna be to you tomorrow. How you want your money split up? I'm like, oh, money there. Like the 28,000? I'm like, I just didn't have $1, bro. I just didn't have $1, like nothing. Like I don't know how I'm paying my lawyer. My lawyer just came to me a day before complaining about getting off the case because he ain't getting his money. This day come, I get the 28,000. Boom, I get my lawyer had to take his cut. I paid my lawyer 13,000. He paid off. He done. Then turn around, I had 8,000 on my books. Mind you, I'm in here living like a king. Stupid, like buku food. Not wanting for it. I'm not wanting for a meal. I don't even eat no trays. I'm not doing none of that. I'm lit. I really got bad. I got 8,000 on my books. The CEOs want to know, like, what you be doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? What you doing? Like, I'm popping it. I get the popping now. You feel me? So, boom, I ended up with 8 bands on my books. That wasn't even it though. I had money in jail and money outside of jail. Money just coming every way, just each way. Like, by the time I came home, so after that, now I got money. I'm good. My lawyer paid off. And I'm just still like discombobulated, like how this even happened, like what? And I knew instantly right then and there that Jesus, bro, really worked different. Like that right there let me know like who was Big Dog. That was the first time I knew like, oh yeah, Jesus Big Dog. That's Big Dog for real. I goes to court, go to trial. Now trial coming up. Now they really got me sitting here a little bit longer because COVID hit. And when COVID hit, when COVID ended up hitting, the court system, it was kind of hard getting a jury trial. Nobody, anybody out there, any hood dudes like me, y'all know about the court system, y'all gonna know. Nobody not picking 12. Nobody not going head up with the judge. Nobody. I don't know nobody going head up with the judge. Picking 12, that's what they're gonna do. So I had to wait to pick 12 the jury because of COVID. But I was so impatient to where I was like, man, I can't wait no longer. I can't. I'm tired of this. I'm burnt out. And then I said, yo, I'm about to just go ahead up with the judge. However it turned out, man, I know God got me. I know he got me. Mind you, let me tell y'all this too. While God doing all the spiritual things happening, my little brother, his name Baby, his man is like a known rapper. His name Leaf Ward from Philly. Well, my little brother is his man, so he ended up being my cellie. I don't really know who they is at the time, But after a while, I just I started learning who they was. But I didn't learn who they was off of people talking about it. I learned who he was by him being my cellie. He telling me all the stuff that, like stuff that he been into, the stuff that he got into, in his life. He was only like 22 at the time. That's my little brother, love him to death, love him dearly. Free him. He got 30 to 60 years. But he was Muslim, right? He was my cellie, he was Muslim. And He seen how God was working in my life. Every day I preached the gospel to him, and he turned Christian. He turned a full believer in Jesus Christ. How that worked, that's a whole nother situation. As like so like it's a beautiful story as well too. But I don't want, So now I'm going to trial. I ends up in trial, and they ended up finding my dead girlfriend to make her come to court. She wasn't trying to come to court, but when she ended up coming to court, they made her testify. She like on the stand saying, "But why I don't even want to say nothing." They made her say, "No, you told us that he did this on multiple occasions. So you going to sit up here and you going to tell us why you were saying that he did this to you." I said, "Here we go." I thought it was just simple as, he ain't do it, and I walk out. It wasn't that simple. So they took me on one, meaning I had to go through the whole motions of feeling like I'm going to lose, not thinking I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through all of that. So I'm sitting there, man, listen, how everything going, they waited 2 years. They waited 2.5 years to go to trial, first of all, meaning that a lot can happen within 2.5 years that's going to make my alibis forget what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? People out of sight, out of mind. They be having their own life going on. You get what I'm saying? So that's what happened. Everybody getting up on the stand, people acting like they don't know what's going on. All of that. I'm in the courtroom stressing. She up there looking stupid. I mean, like they kind of flipping her words around to where I feel like personally it's looking bad. So I goes into the holdover cell, and when I get over to the holdover cell, my lawyer come in there. Before my lawyer came into the holdover cell though, I hit my knees, boo-hoo crying, cause I'm scared. I'm not going cat. I hit the ground, talking about concrete, hit the ground, my knees dropped so hard, boom. God, like, what is you doing? Like, why me? Like, why are you putting me through this? Like, why are you putting me through this? Like, yo, like, come, like, I need you. I promise. Like, you get me out of this situation, I would never, ever, ever, like, I'd never, ever disobey you. And I'm going to tell y'all something else, too, about making a promise to God and not keeping that promise. That also can backfire on you, too, because it did to me. Well, I goes back in the courtroom, long story short, I literally watched this judge's mouth when they did the like basically I forgot the verdict, when they gave me my verdict. When they gave me my verdict, this judge, where we at, first of all, they racist. You know what I'm saying? They don't care to put no black male under the jail. They don't care. They don't care 2 times. They don't care. So I'm looking at this judge. He done put many people that I know sitting back on the block with me, giving them life. My folks coming up from jails and getting time back. Like people was under the jail from this same judge that I got. And I'm going head up with him? Man, I can't make it up. He was literally about to give me a guilty verdict. Can't make this up, bro. I seen with my 2 eyes, bro. I seen his whole mouth turn upside down. I don't know how to explain it. I seen his mouth turn upside down, bro. And he said not guilty, but with an attitude. It didn't make sense. It didn't add up. He was trying to say guilty. Man, meaning that God literally took me through the whole process of having faith, of really trusting in him. And he tested. He really tested. He took me on. So I come home. Long story short, now my life, I'm a Christian. I'm a full believer. Like I'm not religious, but I'm a full, firm believer in Jesus Christ. It hit different. That's what made me a Christian, if that makes sense. So I come home, now my life, I came home up. I went in jail broke, dead crack, bum. I came out almost 70, 80 up. Feel me? Lit. I got right back to it. Back in the mix. I ain't forget about God, but I was not doing I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Man, God gave me everything that I asked for and that I wanted, but he only gave it to me to show me that this is not what you need. This is not for you. This is for the world, not for you. I got bigger and better plans for you. That's my journey. I'm walking. I failed. He picked me back up. And now at this point in my life, I'm coming home and I fall short and I feel so bad. He took everything from me. Everything that I had was up. He took everything from me. I was back down to ground one, stage one. And I had no choice but to call on him again. And he humbled me. So now, where I'm at today, me going through everything that I went through in Christ, with Christ, it gave me a whole different perspective of life. And my perspective of life is my purpose as having a purpose. And my purpose is not wanting to do what I want to do, no self-centered anything. I don't care to be no rapper no more. I used to rap. I don't rap no more. He snatched that from me. I wouldn't dare go in the studio and try to rap or something that I ain't supposed to be rapping about. But all of this is a process. You know what I'm saying? He literally he transitioned you slowly but surely. And I'm glad that it happened that way. I'm glad that it works this way because it gave me something to really respect and honor. And like I said, it all goes back to really having a real dad, a real father. He giving me a reason to respect him. Because if put it like this, if it was just Adam and Eve, and nothing happened, nobody bit an apple, nothing happened, everything would have just been good. But the disobedient somewhere down the line would eventually came because they have no reason to respect God. But now he take his own way, and everybody got their trials and tribulations and their faiths, their journeys, and their testimonies. But that's a relationship. It all sums up to having a relationship, a reason to glorify and love God. Having a reason. If they would have said, yeah, well, that was the whole point of God even doing everything that he did, making this even exist, because he want to be glorified. He want to be loved. He want to know that he wants you to know that I love you, but not only that, but he want to give you a reason to love him. So now that I got a reason to love him, I can actually say, if somebody say, do you love God? I truly love God. I really do love God. Like, he say, with all your mind, body, and soul, with all your heart. Listen, with all my heart, I really truly love Jesus. And now that I'm maturing in my faith, I don't do a lot of things that I used to do. Like I said, I still fall short, but I know that eventually God gonna put me in a position to where I can really set an example. Like right now, me doing this testimony, after today, it gotta be a better me in the faith, because I'm sitting here and I'm telling people how good God is, and then I'm sitting here living a whole totally different way. It wouldn't make sense. That's what pulls people away from God. Let's talk about it. But I'm here to actually help God save his souls and pull people towards God, So from today forward, it's going to be a better me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a better me. So
Can you tell them how this even like came possible? Like how we met? Like
oh yeah.
that's a story of its own
Oh yeah.
too.
So hey man, it's so important to have fellowship, for sure. It's so important to have fellowship, because starting with fellowship, that's how you grow as a stronger Christian. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna be there to pick each other up by any means. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up running to my bro Biggs, man, at a party with my girl, her friend, her little squad or whatever. Bro ends up popping up super late. He popped up a little super late, but it was just on time. God put him there just on time, right? And we get to hitting it up, like we get to chopping it up. We wasn't talking about no street, nothing. It's all Jesus. I'm talking about we really sitting here talking about the gospel to each other back and forth. It's a vibe, man. Next thing you know, the whole little kickback indulging into this one conversation. Now in the whole spot, we talking about Jesus, you know. So bro say, hey man, I really want to start a podcast and, you know, do the testimonies, because I'm telling him about testimonies that I've been seeing. I'm like, bro, I want to do a testimony. He's like, man, I want to start a testimony. And man, bro did that, man. God really put him in a situation. You know, we put it together. You know, I'm here. And we talking about the good, sweet Jesus, for sure. You know what I mean? And I hope that I know that there's people out there that's like me, and how I used to be, that it's they the same way right now. And you know, I'm here to say that at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect at all. But you can never be too not worthy enough for Jesus. He loves you. He loves everybody. He loves me, and I'm not nothing right now. Even though I know him, I'm not nothing. I fall short every single day. But I know that he loved me. That don't make me turn away from him. That made me know that he loved me even more instead of running away from him. I don't do this no more. I'm not ashamed. I'm ashamed of my sin, of course, yes. But instead of being like this and running from him, I turn towards him. And that makes me stronger every single day. So, again, I know it's people out there that's like me, that's out there that's like Biggs, his story, my testimony. We got a couple other brothers here with their testimonies. And this what it's all about is, you know, like I said, you never too not worthy enough for Jesus. He loved everybody. And I hope and I pray that our testimonies can get out there to other people, because it's deeper stories out there. It's deeper testimonies out there that's going to hit certain people and, you know, different people. You know, I don't watch testimonies and certain, out of a whole platform, 20 people on a platform and one person I gravitated to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we trying to build right now. We want different testimonies on here so we can get to all type of people, all kind of people. You know, anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can never be too bad or not good enough for Jesus at all.
But all right, this is how we end every episode. What's your favorite verse, or what's your go-to verse in the Bible?
Oh man, uh, Genesis 3:15, man, where God cursed the serpent and mankind, which was Adam and Eve, and he made a promise. The most important one for me was when he cursed the serpent, and he promised the serpent that one day the seed of the woman gonna crush the head of the serpent. Meaning that you think that you won right now because you cast my children into sin. But one day we will have victory, and the seed of the woman will crush the head of that serpent, which was Jesus. The seed of Mary, which was Jesus, who crushed the head of the devil by beating death. You know what I'm saying? He won. The victory is won, and all you have to do is just have faith and believe, and you will be saved. It used to be so much back then. You had to make sacrifices. You had to cut your foreskins off. Ouch. You used to have to, just do so much, and that was through works that you'll make it to heaven. Only through works you'll make it to heaven. Now only through faith. All you gotta do is just believe and have faith that Jesus Christ was God, that he came and died for your sins. That's it. And you'll be saved. Like me, like Biggs, like everybody in this room. You feel me? So, that's my favorite verse. Prophecy, the beautifulest prophecy, the beginning of the whole Bible, where it all started at and where it ended at, where Jesus demolished the devil and it's done. It's done. It's finished. You don't have to be caught up in your depression and your sorrows and caught up in your loneliness and caught up in your fear or none of that. You don't have to be caught up in that no more. It's done. Just give it all to God. Give it to Jesus and you're going to be good. Man, every single day, man. I don't stress about nothing. I'm not stressing. Me personally, I'm not stressing about nothing. Life good for me every single day, man. I'm blessed. God, he shows up, shows out for me every single day. I don't know how it's done, but it's done. And he's going to keep doing it from now into the future, man. I love you, Jesus. Amen.
That was fire, bro.
Thanks,